Okay, how you doing? I thought I would talk about the source and origin of religion. Seems that most people don't know the origin or source of religion. They have invested sometimes their entire lives into their religion, and they don't know where it came from or how it came. So we'll discuss the first humans and their sociology. The first humans who came upon land or whatever, wherever they might have came from, land or the sea, had their priorities in order. Naturally, they had no choice. They wanted food, water, and there was reproduction. These three were vital, or we wouldn't be here today. So, coming to sociology, if these were the vital components to life, this is what people talked about, let's say, even though they didn't have a verbal language. But this was it. This was the sociology. Any communication that they had to involve food, water, and reproduction. So this is the beginning of this is the beginning of their sociology, and the sociology became the later mythology. In other words, mythology is derived from ancient sociology. The ancient culture, what the folks did, their customs, etc. Mythology, the oldest mythology in the world, was derived from what these folks did. So we might wonder, well, how? How did the folks who wrote the mythology know what the old folks did? Well, what the old folks did was handed down by, tradition, from generation to generation. And the folks migrated and they took their traditions and their religion, whatever they had developed, with them, wherever they went. So those who ended up in the lower Nile Valley, which we refer to as Egypt today, the lower Nile Valley, these are the folks who compiled all these traditions into a mythology. Mythology is representative, then, of what the most ancient people did and how they lived. See, it's derived from the natural events of the most ancient people. The natural thing for the first humans to do was to find food and water and to reproduce. And this led to, eventually, the mythology. The natural events, the natural order of things. People simply don't understand this, primarily because they don't want to understand it. You see, they have their biases. They have been taught certain things that, well, religion dropped out of heaven. God sent it down here to us. So religion was derived right here on earth from human beings and the things they did to survive. But people sort of, they shy away from the idea of mythology, and certainly shy away from the idea of understanding mythology. And they will never understand their religion. Not really. Because all religions have been derived from the mythology, the natural events. But people seem to have been taught otherwise. They're taught things that defy nature. Human beings just don't rise up and float off into the air. There's gravity. Dead bodies don't rise up and fly up either. There's gravity. Okay. So then there's biases that people have developed over the years. Biases primarily based on their religious teachings, their morality, which is basically derived from their religious experiences or teachings that they have received. That's basically that. And when they feel as though, when people feel as though that their biases and their morality is being threatened, they draw back. They become defensive, etc. And sometimes offensive. They do not want to understand what is being said to them when it comes to the truth of the origins of religion. They're afraid of, for example, the brimstone and fire syndrome. It has burned fear into their hearts. Put no other God before me, or you will be punished. People are told this from childhood. And when children hear these things, it scares them. It puts fear in them. And they believe for the rest of their life that what they have been taught and told by their religious teachers is true forever. But they haven't been told the complete story. And these are people who will never bother to look into the truth of religion. They will never reap the full benefits and blessings that their religion has to offer. All religions in the world today have originally been derived from the mythology, which has been derived from ancient sociology and the customs of the most ancient people who walked the face of this earth. That's where religion came from. That's how it got started in the first place. And many of the religious exercises seem to have the effect that the practitioner goes back somehow to the ways of the ancient human. Okay. We'll talk more about this later.